Hey there, we are the Study Buddies. In today's mathematics section video, we're going to be learning about synthetic division. So this is a different method of division which can only be applied for polynomials, and to be honest, this is much simple compared to the other method of division which we learned in our previous video. But the only condition which is required for synthetic division is that when you see the divisor or the one with the smaller power, like for this example, this is the divisor. So whenever you see the divisor, you must be able to get x equals to a certain value. If you are not able to get one certain value, then it is impossible for you to do synthetic division. So let's begin to solve this question. So we have a question of divide 3x to the power of 4 minus 2x cubed minus 5x with x plus 2. So how are we going to solve this in synthetic division is first identify the dividend and the divisor. So this is the dividend, and as mentioned before, this is the divisor. Okay, so now what we are going to do is that we are going to list down all the numbers which are in front of the coefficient here. So starting off with x to the power of 4, since this is a equation with power 4, we are going to have 3 first, followed by to the power of 3 negative 2, power of 1 negative 5, and for power of 2 we don't have any numbers here, so I'm just going to write 0. For power of 1 we have negative 5, and for x to the power of 0 we have no numbers, so we're going to write 0. So after you've done this, you have to draw something like this. So leave some space below here because you're going to fill this area with some numbers. So after you've listed it down, what you're going to do is from the divisor, which is x plus 2, find the value of x. So in this case, x is equal to negative 2. So you take the value of negative 2 and you write it over here. So once you have written down this thing, now what you are supposed to do is that, so since you have written down the values like this, now what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to bring the first number 3 to the bottom of this line. So I'm just going to write down number 3 there again. So after I bring down number 3, now I'm going to multiply 3 with negative 2 and write down the answer over here. Okay, I hope you understand. 3 times negative 2, which you're going to get negative 6, I'm going to write it over here, which is negative 6. So after I've written this down over here, I'm going to solve negative 2 plus negative 6, which is actually negative 2 minus 6, and we are going to get an answer of negative 8. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat this again, negative 8 times with negative 2, and write it down over here. Negative 8 times negative 2, I'm going to get positive 16, and then 0 plus 16, I'm going to get 16. So next, 16 multiply negative 2 again, I'm going to get negative 32. So negative 32 minus 5, I'm going to get negative 37. And again I repeat it, negative 37 times negative 2, and I'm going to get positive 74. So then 0 plus 74, I'm going to get 74. So now that we get something like this, so now to your amazement, this thing, all these 4 numbers are going to be our quotient qx, and the last number is going to be our rx, which is the remainder. So whenever you solve questions of synthetic division, the end number, let's say if there's a number, it's the remainder, and let's say if it's a 0, which means that the question has no remainder. But then now the question comes, can just qx be 3, negative 8, 16 and negative 37? Well, of course not. So how are we going to write that as an answer is that first, I usually use this method. Just write down the numbers individually as if you're going to write it in an equation. Okay, and the next step is that look at the highest degree of your previous answer, or I mean at your dividend, which is x to the power of 4. So since your dividend is an x to the power of 4, now the quotient value must be lesser, must have 1 degree lesser than the dividend. So which means for this question, the degree is going to be x to the power of 3. I mean the highest degree is going to be x to the power of 3. So just once you have determined the highest degree, then you just continue until it becomes x to the power of 0. So for example, this question, 3x to the power of 3 minus 8x square plus 16x minus 37 x to the power of 0, which you actually do not need to write down. So now once we have got our qx, our px, our dx, which is the divisor, and also our remainder of 74, now we are going to write it in the method of writing a division answer as we saw in our previous video, which is px equals to qx dx plus with rx. So qx is going to be this thing, which is 3x cubed minus 8x square plus 16x minus 37 times with x plus 2, and rx is going to be 74. So this whole thing is going to be the answer for this question, and this is exactly, to be honest, this is much easier compared to the method where we have to do in normal division, which has more chances of careless mistakes. So now let us look at our second example. So we have the highest degree here for the px is x to the power 5, and this would become our divisor. So dividend, divisor. So now, as what we have seen just now, we are going to list down all the numbers in front of the coefficients. So since it's a power 5, so we start off with 1. So power 4 we don't have any values, 0. Power of 3 we have negative 5. X to the power of 2 we do not have any values, so 0. X to the power of 1 we have 1, and x to the power of 0 we have negative 16. Okay, so as mentioned before, we're going to draw that line, and for x plus 2 equals to 0, we get x equals to negative 2. We're going to write negative 2 here again. Okay, so as I mentioned before in the first example, we are just going to solve it, bring down, multiply, bring it here, plus, multiply, bring it here, plus, and the process continues. So let's begin. So 1 plus 0 is going to be 1. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. 0 minus 2, you're going to get negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2, you're going to get positive 4. Negative 5 plus 4, negative 1. Negative 1 times 2 is positive 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. 2 times negative 2, you're going to get negative 4. Negative 4 plus 1, negative 3. Negative 3 times 2, you're going to get positive 6. Negative 16 plus 6 is going to be negative 10. As mentioned before, this number is our remainder, so therefore our rx is going to be equal to 10. And for our qx is going to be x to the power of 4, because this is a power 5, minus 2 x to the power of 3 minus x square plus 2x minus 3. So after you've got this value, what we are going to do is that we are going to write it down in the division form as we saw in our previous video, which is px equals to qx dx plus rx. So how do we do this? We are going to just substitute everything inside. So x to the power of 4 minus 2x cubed minus x square plus 2x minus 3 bracket dx was x plus 2 plus 10. So this is the whole answer for this synthetic division. So as mentioned, this is much easier than the previous one. So now let's take a look at this example. Find the value of p in the equation x cubed plus px squared. So the p is located beside the x squared minus 9x minus 10 divided with x plus 3, where 8 is the remainder. Okay, so from this question we can actually realize that our dividend px is equal to x cubed plus px squared minus 9x minus 10, and our divisor is dx is equal to x plus 3, and our remainder rx is equal to 8. So how do we solve this division of px and dx in synthetic division? Is by listing down the values in front of the coefficient. So this is a power of 3 equation, so we start off with 1, p x would be negative 9 and negative 10, and then we draw this thing. So x plus 3 equals to 0, where x is equal to negative 3. So you're going to write negative 3 over here. And as we are aware, the remainder is 8, and as I've mentioned in my previous examples, the remainder becomes the very last number of the answer when you solve divisions in synthetic division. Okay, so let's begin our normal process of solving synthetic division. So bring the 1 down here, it's going to be 1 times negative 3 is negative 3, so this brings a result of p minus 3. So p minus 3 times with negative 3, you're going to get negative 3p plus 9. So negative 3p plus 9 minus 9, you're going to get answer of negative 3p. So negative 3p times negative 3, you're going to get positive 9p. And if you're aware, in order to get 8, in order to get the remainder, what we usually do is that we take the number on top and add up with the number at the bottom. So this is the method which we are going to use to find out p. So what we are going to do is going to take 9p minus 10 equals to 8. So 9p minus 10 equals to 8. Bring the negative 10 to the right hand side. It's going to be 9p equals to 18. Therefore p equals to 18 over 9, where we are going to get 2. So therefore the answer for this question is p equals to 2. So as a piece of advice, I would prefer using synthetic division whenever it comes to division of polynomials, but somehow take note that the x, you should get only one value of x, number 1, and number 2, look at what the question requires. So if the question is asking you synthetic division, do synthetic division, and let's say the question is asking you to do in the normal method of division, don't ever do synthetic division, as it would reduce your marks or you'll be penalized for that. And so that's all for this video, guys. If you like this video, do like this video, comment if you have any doubts, share this video to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. That's all for today. Thank you, take care, goodbye.